Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of a replay between Poker Off Kaz and Mouse Hasu here on Lost Temple. Poker Off Kaz now trying to defend his expansion from being clipped with Stalkers and High Templars. Gonna go ahead and continue this replay here. Marauders, this one Archon in this position is very much exposed against that one group of units here, and down goes this Archon. So Archon not really able to do any real damage, as now we have some medevacs moving out perhaps to this position, but this medevac will get shot down very quickly, not wanting to engage. I don't understand why these Stalkers are not shooting down these particular units here, and now these Marauders may be able to finish off this particular expansion. However, some cannons now being warped in, so those cannons now dealing damage over here. A second Stalker. These Stalkers are just on hiatus or on vacation or something. Not exactly sure what they're doing, as this medevac only needs one additional point of a shot in order to get taken down, so not exactly sure what exactly Hasu is doing here. He can warp in some additional units. Now we see some Zealots being warped in, as this Pylon gonna get taken down here, and now this one medevac, not sure what's happening here. The Stalker just needs to shoot down that medevac. There it goes, now taking down, and this army will get destroyed very easily. Another Psystorm coming in, all these units sitting here and now getting cleaned up. So Mouse Hasu now finally able to establish this expansion over here on the bottom right corner of the map. We do see some bunkers now in position here, trying to get proper positioning. Perhaps we will get these rocks destroyed as well. However, these Zealots now moving out. No, they are not moving out. 1 point defense drone, or one Raven sitting here, and now we have a Nexus being warped in over here on the low ground. However, Kaz able to fully saturate this particular mineral patch over here, and now getting a very strong economic lead, 2200 versus 1000, as these units perhaps are trying to move out finally. We do see one Ghost here that's currently low on hit points, perhaps needs to be healed back up. Over here, Hasu is not able to fully saturate this particular location, needs to train up some more probes, as the main base is overly saturated with more than enough probes, and more than enough probes here. Army-wise, 3700 versus 3700 as we now have another push coming in. Psystorm now coming in, Archons now being merged, more Psystorm being cast, so all of these units always constantly in motion. Will it be enough to fight back here? But one Archon, another Psystorm, so this whole entire bio ball getting torn apart by Psystorm, and wow, great play. So Hasu able to hold on to this expansion here, and now the army size is 1900 versus 3050. However, the economy of Poker Off Kaz is still too much to deal with. 2100 versus 1000 at this stage. Hasu really needs to set up an additional expansion somewhere, somehow, and perhaps needs to deal damage over here. Kaz may try to start building planetary fortresses across the map. Planetary fortresses with that additional +2 armor compared to a command center is able to take a lot of damage from Zealots and Stalkers. And the Stalkers do not have any weapons upgrade either. Finally, we are getting the level 1 weapons upgrade on the infantry weapons, and we are getting a planetary fortress over here. So this particular location will be well protected for quite some time. We now see Poker Off Kaz moving over here to try to take down these destructible rocks, as Hasu is just sitting in his base, unable to really do anything about the expanding Terran player. We do see some sensor towers and missile turrets now being placed down. This one missile turret this one Raven almost giving sight to take down this observer here. Observer down to 10 hit points, and now just going to be sitting off into this position. One missile turret right there. I do not believe we have any weapon tracking. No additional +1 range, and now this Nexus is going to be exposed to this Marine Marauder attack, and that's going to be very bad. But however, once again, Stalkers now moving in with Psystorm, now taking down that sensor tower. However, there are no SCVs on this corner. This gas will get taken down. However, this Nexus will get taken down as well, and now it's an expansion for an expansion trade. More SCVs now being transferred over here to the gold mineral location, so Kaz will be able to mine out of this north gold mineral patch as well, giving him an even stronger economic lead in just a moment. Perhaps that will be changed to a planetary fortress as well. In the center of the map, we see the map control of Poker Off Kaz essentially limiting Hasu to only the right side of the map. We do have a lot of idle harvesters sitting over here not mining for some reason, as we now see Marines and Marauders in this position. Down goes one Templar, not even trying to get any Psystorm back, and now we are starting to warp in more and more units. Will those Templars be able to do any real damage here? In comes a Psystorm. No Psystorm. There it is. Psystorm taking on a lot of those Marines, and then a medevac overexposing itself. Down it goes. And now these Stalkers will be able to come into this position and start picking off units again. We have more barracks now being trained up, more barracks now being thrown down. A scanner sweep revealing onto that high ground. One Stalker not long for life there, getting shot down, and another EMP shockwave. However, these Archons, our High Templars, should probably merge into Archons in just a moment, and now trying to just stay with this ledge, trying to warp in more and more units. Are we going to get another Psystorm? EMP shockwave hitting off a lot of those units, and now being picked up into that Warp Prism. That Warp Prism getting the heck out of dodge and saving 3 of those very, very gas-intensive High Templar units here. So High Templars once again able to fight another day. More Stalkers and Zealots going to be dropped in over here. Really like this Warp Prism play coming in from Hasu. Hasu using Warp Prism and that phase mode in order to warp in more and more High Templars. Will be able to get off a lot of damage in just a moment. In come these 2 High Templars. High Templars should be able to get off a Psystorm there. Oh, getting a feedback off onto a Ghost. However, that Ghost did not have enough energy on him to get killed. So now another planet or another command center being thrown down here. Stalker Blink finally being researched as well. So these Stalkers will be able to perhaps blink up and down onto this ledge here and deal some damage. We do see one phase prism here, and now going to drop an expansion over here on the top left-hand corner of the map, and perhaps setting up some pylons and some photon cannons as well. Hasu needs to get an expansion up and running, otherwise he will not be able to keep up with the economy of Kaz. A cannon over here, Psystorm, just baiting units to fight in. Another Psystorm, more Psystorm, and wow, this so much Psystorm being cast across all these units. A lot of High Templars guarding this front door. 7 High Templars guarding this front door against any sort of attack. There are 2-point defense drones, and Void Rays would be a very strong counter to that, as point defense drones cannot intercept Void Ray attack. We do see one Warp Prism here, and very nicely done. I don't understand why Hasu does not turn one into phase mode and then throw down some cannons, so that by the time that these pylons are done, those cannons are also in there as well. We do see 2 assimilators now coming into play and now coming in online, and now in comes a drop from Kaz. So Kaz now dropping into the main base may hurt the production. There is one High Templar over here. Zealot's now trying to engage. This High Templar needs to get a Psystorm off. There we go. There's one Psystorm. Is it going to be able to get off another Psystorm? There we go. 2 Psystorms down, and a lot of these units took a lot of damage. However, more units need to be warped in. More High Templars now moving in here. However, pushing on the front door as well. So these units need to start getting some more Psystorm. Archon sitting there, able to get a lot of that damage off on that Bio Ball, and now this drop has been taken care of here. Only 1 or 2 Marauders left, 2 or 3 Marauders left here. However, the front door quickly getting taken down by these High Templars once again. How many kills? Not too many kills across all these High Templars. And now these medevacs, one medevac will get, and being saved by a point defense drone. So very nicely done. Kaz getting lucky with that positioning, as now we have Kaz establishing this expansion over here on the 12 o'clock position. We have the level 2 weapons infantry upgrade, and now level 2 ground weapons upgrade for the Protoss player as well. However, Stalker with Stalker Blink now able to blink up and down onto this high ground. And now will they be able to blink up? Yes, able to blink finally and save itself once again. Those Marauders exposing themselves. And now this expansion has been denied. No additional orbital command to try to call down mules into this location. Over here, this one planetary fortress now getting some additional gas. So Kaz finally needing that extra gas, and now going to throw down a command center here to perhaps set off and throw down and land in this position as well. So almost every single mineral patch on this map has been mined. Another Psystorm, so really, really well done. However, losing 2 of those High Templars there, and losing a 3rd one there, so 3 High Templars quickly lost, and more High Templars once again being warped in. Hasu could definitely warp in some more Zealots with real no issue, and now in comes some probes. So probes now going to find this expansion here, and now in comes one command center. So that command center will not be able to land into this position, obviously, as there's a nexus here. And now this command center, however, has correctly spotted this location. We do see some High Templars on this high ground as well. So these Stalkers now able to just deal a lot of damage towards Pokerov. Has more Stalkers now blinking into this location. And now the economy is going to start hurting. We do see some units now trying to move in. And we now see 1 Stalker being warped in as well. 2 Stalkers already in position. We do see have some photon cannons now being warped in. Psystorm needs to be cast. Feedback onto one of those medevacs. More units need to be dropped off. A point defense drone now in the air. So that is a very, very bad place to fight any of these units here, as these Stalkers now trying to pull back, able to just intercept so many of these attacks. Point defense drone now down to 40, down to 7 energy, and will not be able to intercept any additional attacks until it naturally regenerates. An interesting point to note, point defense drones regenerate energy twice as fast. However, back over here, there are a lot of pylons in this base now to warp in more units. We also see more units here. A Psystorm may be able to be cast onto these units and then kill them all, allowing the Stalker to blink back onto that low ground. We do see 1 point defense drone still in that position, gaining sight, and now a fight in the center of the map. More Psystorm being cast, and Poker off Kaz just taking so much damage, being forced to micro so many battles, and now you can take a look at the losses. The losses for Poker-Off Kaz sitting at almost 30,000. Even though his economy and income has been stronger throughout most of the game, he is now behind in Harvesters, 38 to 69. As now, Zealots finally being warped in here to try to deal damage and finish off this expansion. Kaz is now on the losing end of this fight as these Stalkers are just continuing to put lots and lots of pressure. The high mobility of these Protoss units able to just constantly come into position. We now see a command center which was trying to land right here but will not be able to, and now down goes this command center goes. It will burn down if it's not careful. There it goes, just gets shot down anyway by that Archon. We now see one High Templar here getting off one Psystorm, a Stalker, and now Zealot trying to finish off the rest of this fight here. One Zealot should be able to finish off those two units as they're very low on hit points, and now Stalker's sitting here starting to fight and starting to deal damage towards this orbital command. Taking a look at the Harvester count once again, 33 compared to 71. Mules being called down here, trying to just get as much economy as possible. This mule will get shot down here. Marines and Marauders now coming in to join in on this fight. Level 2 weapons upgrade versus level 2 and level 1 armor upgrade. However, Psystorm on this from this high ground able to just take down a lot and deal a lot of damage towards these units. Are we going to get another Psystorm is the key question. There we go. Another Psystorm coming in there. So really, really well done. We do see Marines and Marauders, Medevacs sitting here, a Mule now in this position. This expansion continuing to be denied by Hasu. So Hasu has units fighting over here on the bottom right-hand side, or at the 6 o'clock expansion location, as more Marauders and Marines being trained. More Stalkers and Zealots over here. Will they be able to finish off this attack force? No, not really, as Kaz just using mass Mules in order to stay in this game. Army-wise, another EMP Shockwave, no, another Psystorm hitting off a lot of those units here. These Stalkers want to deal as much damage as possible, and now we're going to get a Phase Prism drop of these Zealots. So Zealots are now going to drop into position, perhaps warp in more units as well. Stalkers will be able to blink onto that low ground. These units should be able to get a Psystorm there, and once again, dealing a lot of damage towards these infantry units. Kaz not switching to mech, as these Marauders and Marines now getting taken down. So expansion-wise, Kaz only able to mine off of, what, 3 or currently mining off of 8 mineral patches, and that is it. This location has been mined out. Going to start doing some mining over here. This orbital command will be able to drop into that position in just a moment. However, the Stalkers now inserting themselves into the main production line of Poker Off Kaz amongst all of these barracks in the center of the map. Currently training up more Marauders, more Marines. Another High Templar will get, merging into an Archon at just the right moment. Nicely done by Hasu once again, as now we see Poker Off Kaz trying to establish this expansion. You should start seeing Kaz with a very strong economy once again. 31 Harvesters compared to 74. However, not many of these Harvesters are doing anything. So you can see, taking a look at Hasu, Hasu has 25 idle workers, as more and more of these units now pushing out slowly. Once again, one Marauder trying to hold back this Archon and Zealot army. One Marauder here, 2-1 upgrades, walking to their rally point and walking to their death. Dead man walking. Stay tuned for part 3 of this replay between Kaz and Hasu here on Lost Temple.